All right, so today we have a special guest on the show, Dominic Gerald's.
Hello, everybody.
He's famous.
Oh, you're famous.
Famous drummer. But he helps out in the shop sometimes when he's not on tour with famous musicians. But today, him and his wife are over, and we're having lunch, eating some tacos, and we listened to my sound system. He wanted to hear it.
Oh.
He's the first person to listen to it other than me. So, what do you think?
Oh my gosh, it's quite an unreal experience. I literally felt like after we went through a couple records, I'd say maybe like six or seven records different. We went from Marvin Gaye, and then went into Ryan Adams, and then went from Ted Nugent, yep. And then just kind of went through a couple different waves, and I left from the whole experience just feeling like I left a concert. It was that awesome. So, high quality gear. It's what it's talked up to be. So, I got to get me a good system, because this is now my system that I have. I'm like, what do I have?
It's we have the ability to make your own your own music better than anybody else. So Dom and I picked out some records to talk about, just some fun. My son is here, drive me nuts. Grab them records there, Dom. They're right there next to you, and then we'll talk about them. Dom picked some, I picked some, just to talk about records. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So what was your pick, Dom?
So first one I picked was one actually you showed me. This KPM library record, and he said he got it. I can't remember where you said you got it from, but I
got it from a good buddy of mine that kind of collects library stuff. Like, so if you don't know what library music is, basically these musicians would get together and they make music specifically for like a certain type of, a show or commercial or whatever. They would pull from these library records. So different types of music. So like you say, hey, I've got this crime show and I want this funky car driving scene, like you could pick from, like what it sounds like, So anyways, that's what kind of in a nutshell what library records are. So that one's called Afro Rock from
Afro
KPN.
Rock. Yeah. And so he had them in the shop, and then I immediately
son, I said sit right here. Gotta do that.
Oh man, that's so funny. Well, okay, so so back to KPM, Afro Rock, and there's a track on here called Swamp Fever that is mind blowing. I put it on at the shop, and obviously being a drummer, loving percussion and everything, that track specifically, I was like, okay, the vibe, the groove is so killer. So it is super nasty. So this definitely is like, I need to find me an OG copy of this. If Dylan goes missing, it wasn't me. So we'll no, but this is a killer record.
I think they've reissued it though. I don't know. The OG's like library stuff is like super. Some of them aren't really expensive. That one is
that one's definitely expensive, and this is one that you picked out here.
Yeah, this one, Dom and I just listened to this. This is the Montgomery Express. I got this last year. Was digging at a buddy of mine's house, and he had it, and I couldn't even believe it. I think they only made 100 copies. Band from Florida. I think there's a couple of blind guys that sing lead vocals, and they got a rhythm section from like a jazz band in high school or something to fill in. But this is like, we were just talking about how this is that Coal Mine Records, Daptone Records vibe, to where it's just that really good R&B, funk, soul.
Smooth. Yes, just so smooth.
Smooth as silk. Yes. But this is a first press. There's a second press that Folkways put out, and that one's even like impossible to find, but I think they've reissued it now. But this is one of the most rare and valuable records that I have, but it is within good reason. It's a tremendous album. Very, very good stuff. I've talked about it a few times. But
so freaking killer. All right.
Oh, boy.
Next up, we got Mr. Ryan Adams himself. Love as Hell. Very first time I heard this record, I was living with some roommates. and we were smoking hookah. I don't know if you know what hookah is, but I'm sure most of you do. But we were sitting in our living room, and my buddy was like, "Have you guys heard this record?" He had the 10-inch, and I was like, "No, I've never heard this one." And so we put it on, and we got to Shadowlands, and it was raining. It was raining outside that day, and it was like right before sunset. And just really beautiful day outside, but we're sitting in the living room smoking hookah, and that comes on, and the experience, it was magical. It was good. It was good.
Sounds like that. You're really painting a picture.
I'm painting I always paint pictures. I got to paint pictures because I'm a visual person.
He's an artiste.
I'm an artiste. But I mean, this whole record. I mean, from Avalanche War, World War 24, even the cover of Wonderwall, like it's one of those records that you put on, and I'm a very love records that I can just listen to and just kind of mellow out, chill, relax, not really have to think. This is definitely one of those.
He has that. You have that same copy.
Yep,
that was actually
the same copy.
The first record I put on the system when I got it hooked up. I was telling him that, but we were just sitting here. And we put it on, and it's super lo-fi at the beginning of the track. But then, when it kicks in, you hear the keys and the guitar solo and the my
bass
gosh,
kicks in.
We both were we both had chill bumps. No joke. It was
we should have got a picture of it or a video.
It was nuts, man. It's so good, but it was the full immersive experience. That's the
I've heard this record many of times, but it's completely different hearing it in here on this system. So I'm quite jealous of his whole system setup right now. But
Dom was there when we found it.
I was.
He was with me
when
we found it, and we were both drooling over all the gear. And I was like, gosh, I hope I can get that stuff. And I really didn't think I was going to be able to, because stuff like this doesn't last
Well, it was
long.
after all the work we did, moving looking at the records there, but then driving over, loading those up, then driving over to the next spot to look at the rest of the records. It was like, man, you got to get this gear. You have to.
So thankfully it worked out. We've been talking about it back and forth, and I'm glad that it all ended here. So
yes,
this next record is one of Dom's faves.
One of my mega faves, Miss Helen Morrell. I mean, just look at that cover. It just draws you. At least when I first saw it, it drew me in. I just felt like I was in the studio with her. Just when I put the record on and the first track came on. It was also raining that day at the shop.
Something about that rain.
It's something about the rain. Something about the rain. You gotta, it does wonders. So this record here is another one of those easy listen, put on, super vibe, chill. Her vocal is incredible. Piano playing on this is amazing, and just killer jazz vocalist. And I think this was her first record that she came out with in 54.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I might be wrong on that, but I think I'm right. But yes, this is another one that you guys should definitely check out. If you don't know, now you know.
And a little pro tip: I just got this from, and I've not been paid to endorse Analog Productions, but Acoustic Sound / Analog Productions. They put this out, and these are still in print, so you can get them. Mm-hmm. And this pressing sounds incredible. You could just hear the softness and vulnerability of her voice. She barely certain notes. She's almost whispering, you know. It's just you can feel it, man. It's so. But these we got a couple of these that are Analog Productions that are still in print. Go get them, because when they go out of sale, they go out of stock. The prices go up. But this is a incredible sound and pressing. And I had a first press that went to Mike at the End Groove, and it was in perfect shape. And I hated to sell it, but this makes it feel better. So
I've got a second press.
Yep, he also got that one for me. So
yes, I am very proud to have that in my collection.
It's a banger.
It is a banger.
All right, next I'll talk about this one.
Yeah.
So this also came from Analog Productions. This is Ted Nugent's self-titled. Oh my gosh, this is a banger of a record. But Stranglehold is one of my absolute favorite rock and roll songs. I think it's one of the best riffs in rock and roll. It's my personal opinion, but such a killer track. And I can never find a really good clean copy of his first record. They just always beat all the time. And like maybe a week ago, I was like, man, I wish I could find one. And I was watching one on eBay that was still sealed because I was like, I want a perfect copy of this because that track is so killer. And then I was on Analog Productions website, and I'm like, what the heck? There's a 45 RPM, 200 gram vinyl reissue of it, and I had to get it just to hear it. And man, we put this thing on, dude. It was powerful. Just to, yeah. Here's a video clip of us all rocking out to it that my wife got. So killer. But it just overcomes you.
Yeah, it was so good.
So last one. Do you want to talk about this, or we both talk about it?
Yeah, we both talk about it.
This is we talked about this a little bit earlier. This is William Onyaba, the original press of Atomic Bomb. We were just talking about Onyaba, mainly because we were talking about intermittent fasting and how William Onyaba was a giant man, and he only ate one big meal a day. And I think he kind of attributed like his whole lifestyle was just kind of different, a little bit weird, but really interesting guy. He was he had a lot of money. He lived in Nigeria. Nobody really knew where the money came from, but he had a lot of talents and stuff, and he had the finances to be able to flesh those out however he wanted to. So he went to the UK, bought all these keyboards, synthesizers, recording equipment, and so he had all this amazing recording equipment that no one else had in Nigeria at the time. Like mid-70s, there was a huge explosion of music out of Nigeria. Lots of creativity because of the politics and things like that. So this is one of his records, one of his better ones, I think. But he had a ton. I've got a couple William Onyaba box sets that has everything in it. But anyways, he also went to a film school in France and like did some soundtracks for his own movies that he made. But I think that the movies are like uncirculated. You can't find them or anything like that. But yeah. Dom and I were talking about him, and I pulled this down, and Dom goes,
"It's like mouth drop on the floor
with the chicken strip."
Chicken strip. You got to count on this man to always have an OG of something and make your mouth drop.
I do what I can.
Like I come in here, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you got to check this record out," and I'm like, "It's so much money." Like, and I probably will never find. Well,
sometimes I find on the cheap. This is actually this is not really expensive of an OG.
He's just he finds all the good stuff, and it comes to him. It comes to him,
well,
and so
it knows I'm its daddy.
It does, and so I mean that's why I hang out with him, so I can get some of that luck, and it can rub off on me and find some good stuff.
This dude last night. Where'd you go last night?
I had a movie. It was a movie rap party.
Yeah, so he was in a freaking movie. So don't even.
Okay.
He's a not only is he a drummer, he owns his own record label with a couple of his buddies.
Gigantic record company. Pew, pew, pew. Shout out.
Prestige worldwide.
Worldwide.
So he was in a movie. He plays himself in a movie, pretty much. Yep. He was in a kids show.
It was those two things were shot in the same week. So I shot the movie on Monday and Tuesday, had Wednesday off, and then shot a kids show on Thursday. And the kids show actually, the episode just dropped today actually. So it's called Danny Go. So if you have kids that are the age from 2 to 5 or 6. They'll enjoy it. It's fun. I'm playing drums in the episode. It's a lot of fun.
This man can't be stopped. So,
I'm just trying to make moves, man. I'm trying to be a businessman. Make waves, like Hove, Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, he's I love. One thing that motivates me about I have it somewhere in original. Here we go. Splat out.
Skablam.
Jay-Z. While we're at it, this original Blueprint. And he has that one line that basically, I can't remember, I'm going to butcher it, but he says, like, you could drop him in the desert anywhere, and like, he'll make $1 million or something. I don't know. But, like, man, that attitude that he's got, like, the perseverance, and that's what I always want to be. I always want to be, never want to sleep. Another one is,
there he is.
This is an OG, Illmatic. He says, I don't sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. That is it, man. You got to keep grinding.
Grind it.
Pound it. We love y'all. We just wanted to hop on here since we were together in the listening room and give you the experience. And hope you guys are doing good.
Yep. Appreciate all y'all.
And we'll see you next time. Pew, pew, pew.